가위바위보. 또 비겼어? 아 진짜.
키캣, 빌리 뭐해? 점심 먹으러 안 가?
잠깐만, 누가 점심 살지 가위바위보로 정하는 중이야.
에? 근데 키캣은 손가락도 없잖아. 가위바위보를 할 수 있어?
자, 준비됐어? 가위바위보. 안녕! Welcome back to another grammar lesson taught by me, Billy Go. But before I get started, I should give you a disclaimer that today's lesson is intended for intermediate level learners and might be a bit difficult for beginners. But don't let me tell you what to do. Now, in order to use today's form, you'll first want to know how to use the form 지, meaning since. I'll link to one of my lessons about this form in the video description box. So let's get started with today's form, Manet, which means after. Technically, Manet means an amount of time that passes after something happens. So it means after a block of time when something happens. But more naturally, you'll just translate Manet as after or sometimes in an amount of time. This form is easy to use, and it simply attaches after any amount of time with a space. For example, after 1 year would be 1년 만에. After 1 hour would be 1시간 만에. And after how much time would be 얼마 만에. Again, 만에 means after that amount of time. But since 만에 is only used when you're saying after something happens, it's used in sentences that also have the meaning of since something happens. In fact, this form is often used together with the grammar form since, which is 지. Again, if you need a review, check out the video description for a link to another lesson I made about the form 지. For example, 1년 만에 means after 1 year, and it's used in sentences when you're saying that something hasn't happened since a year ago. So it's after 1 year since something happened. Let's look at this in 2 steps. First, here's an example sentence before adding 만에 that uses the form 지, meaning since. 한국어를 공부하기 시작한 지 3년이 됐어요. It's been 3 years since I began studying Korean. Again, you'll want to already know how to use the form 지, meaning since, before learning 만에, since they're often used together. So now let's add 만에 into this sentence. 한국어를 공부하기 시작한 지 1년 만에 한국으로 이사 갔어요. I moved to Korea 1 year after I started learning Korean. Or more naturally, a year after I started learning Korean, I moved to Korea. Now, 만에 doesn't need to be used with the form 지. It can also be used on its own. 1년 만에 한국으로 이사 갔어요. I moved to Korea 1 year after. But note how even in our English translation, although 만에 means after, it still seems to imply that it's since something happens. 1 year after something happens. This is different from saying, after 1 year, I moved to Korea, which wouldn't have that nuance. For example, 1년 후에 한국으로 이사 갔어요. After 1 year, I moved to Korea. This sentence simply means that you moved to Korea after 1 year, 1 year later, or after something happens, or it could even be 1 year in the future if this sentence ended in the future tense. Again, using 만에 implies that something takes place after something happens, not just after an amount of time. So keep that in mind. Whenever you see 만에, know that it's referring to the time after something that happens. Okay, but the best way to understand any grammar form is to use it a lot. So let's do some more examples. 새 차를 산 지 한 달 만에 사고가 났어요. 1 month after buying a new car, I had an accident. Here, the first part of the sentence means since buying a new car, and 한 달 만에 means after 1 month. So we can combine these 2 parts to mean after 1 month since buying a new car, or simply 1 month after buying a new car. 자전거를 타면 30분 만에 200칼로리를 태울 수 있어요. if you ride a bicycle, you can burn 200 calories after 30 minutes. Here, a more natural way to translate Manet is in, so you can burn 200 calories in 30 minutes. Literally, if you ride a bicycle after doing that 30 minutes, you can burn 200 calories. 한국에는 얼마 만에 다시 돌아왔어요? How long has it been since you came back to Korea? 얼마 means how long, so 얼마 만에 means after how long. Or more naturally, how long has it been? Again, it means after something happens. In this case, what happened is that you came to Korea before. 오픈 이틀 만에 방문자가 3,000명이 넘었어요. 2 days after opening, there were over 3,000 visitors. Here, 만에 is used to mean after a business opens. 방법을 바꾸니 2달 만에 성공했어요. 2 months after changing my method, I was successful. 바꾸니 is just a written or slightly more formal version of 바꾸니까. Let's do just 2 more examples before moving on, and these will be a bit higher level. 기차로 3시간 걸리던 곳을 이제 1시간 만에 갈 수 있어서 좋아요. It's great that I can go somewhere that took 3 hours by train now in just 1 hour. 하루 매출이 500만 원이 넘어요. 개업 일주일 만에요. One day sales are over 5 million won, 1 week after opening. In this example, there doesn't seem to be a verb at the end, but actually, 만에 is being used to describe 넘다 in the first sentence. Okay, so now we've seen 만에, but actually the form which means after is just 만 by itself. You'll add 에 whenever you're using it in a sentence to describe a verb, like an adverb. However, if we don't need to use it to describe a different verb, such as if we're just using it at the end of a sentence, we can simply attach the verb 이다, and we get 만이다. The meaning is the same, but now instead of doing something after something happens, we can describe the time after something happens. So you can translate 만이다 as to be after something happens. Again, 만이다 works the same way as 만에, just at the end of a sentence. Here are some examples. 오랜만이에요. Long time no see. This common expression also comes from this form, but is written as one word without a space. 오랜 means a long time that's passed, and 만에 means after, so literally, 오랜만이다 means to be after a long time that's passed, which is how you say that it's been a long time since you've last seen someone. Okay, but let's go on to some other examples. 거의 2달 만이었어요. It's been almost 2 months. Literally, this means it was almost after 2 months. However, sometimes a more natural way to translate 만이다 can be it's been. Also, if we go back to our previous example, 오랜만이에요 can also translate as it's been a long time. 드디어 시험에 통과했어요. 공부를 시작한 지 100일 만이에요. I finally passed the test. It's been 100 days since I started studying. Literally, since the sentence ends with 만이에요, it means it is after 100 days since I started studying. Again, here we can translate this more naturally as it's been 100 days since I started studying. 철수랑 통화한 건 몇 년 만이었어요. It had been several years since I talked with 철수. Note that although this sentence doesn't have the form since, it still means since because 만이다 means it happened after talking with 철수. Let's do one more example sentence, and this one will also be a bit higher level. 그 친구들을 다시 본 건 졸업 10년 만이었어요. It was the first time in 10 years that I saw those friends since graduation. Literally, this means I saw those friends again. It was 10 years after graduation. And that's all for today. You can also learn more about this topic in the extended PDF version of this lesson, which is available to download for free on my website. Yes, free! Thanks for watching. And remember that new videos are posted here every single week. So if you like what you see, click subscribe. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.
가위바위보! 아! 내가 또 졌어? 5판 중에 3판 이기는 사람이 이기는 걸로 하자. 알겠어. 가자. 오늘은 내가 살게.
진짜? 완전 좋지. 가자.
키캣, 너 진짜 가위바위보 잘한다.
잠깐만. 근데 키캣은 맨날 주먹만 내잖아. 근데 어떻게 이기지?
주먹이야? 방금 그거 보자기 아니었어?
카메라.
왜 카메라 쳐다?